Stephen A. Smith responds to Trump's praise and talks politics, Democrats, and a possible 2028 run. In an unexpected twist in the world of politics and media, ESPN personality and outspoken commentator Stephen A. Smith has found himself at the center of presidential speculation, sparked in part by an unlikely source, former President Donald Trump. During a recent segment, Trump lavished praise on Smith, calling him a good guy, smart, and someone with great entertainment skills. Trump, known for his unpredictable endorsements, even went as far as saying, "I'd love to see him run." The remarks were delivered with Trump's characteristic blend of enthusiasm and strategy, prompting many to wonder, is Stephen A. Smith seriously considering a run for the White House in 2028? Smith's reaction? "I was aghast." Appearing on a political talk show shortly after the former president's comments, Smith responded with honesty and characteristic candor. "I was aghast, to be quite honest with you," Smith said. "I wasn't looking for any kind of endorsement from anybody, especially him." While he acknowledged the symbolic weight of receiving acknowledgement from a former president, Smith remained skeptical of Trump's intentions. "If somebody like that is throwing out my name, clearly they think, yeah, go ahead and do it so we can beat you, we can romp you too, so I'm not falling for it." Despite that, Smith appreciated the sentiment and said he took it in stride, acknowledging it was nice to hear, but ultimately not something that changed his thinking. His take on Trump's administration. Reflecting on Trump's tenure in office, Smith was balanced but critical. He described Trump's approach to governance as haphazard and expressed concern about his actions on economic issues, particularly involving Elon Musk and cryptocurrency regulation. "I wasn't happy about that. And the tariff wars, I thought he'd focus on lowering taxes first. I wasn't happy about that. And the tariff wars, I thought he'd focus on lowering taxes first, like he campaigned on," Smith said, adding that the tariffs not only included China, but practically everybody else, before Trump began walking them back. However, Smith did credit Trump for his border policies, saying, "I have no problem with what he's done with the borders. I thought it was absolutely necessary. I've never been a proponent of open borders." Overall, Smith takes a long-term view when judging any presidency, emphasizing historical context over real-time reaction. "The prism of history is how you determine the success of a president," he stated, "not knee-jerk reactions." His political identity: independent, moderate, and frustrated. Asked how he would identify politically, Smith was unequivocal. "I'm a registered independent who leans left. I'm fiscally conservative, socially liberal." While he admitted that if he were to run, it would likely be as a Democrat, Smith made it clear he's disillusioned with the party. "The Democratic Party, as presently constructed, would pretty much need to be purged for me to even consider associating with them." He criticized Democrats for failing to connect with everyday Americans. "I don't view Donald Trump as winning the election. I view the Democrats as losing it, absolutely, positively blowing it." On woke culture and identity politics, Smith also took aim at progressive factions of the Democratic Party, warning that their focus on identity politics, cancel culture, and ideological purity was alienating voters. He stopped short of naming names, but didn't shy away from criticizing what he described as the extreme left. "We've reached a point where people are scared to lose their jobs if they pronounce a wrong pronoun," he said. "That's not what most Americans care about. They care about paying their mortgage, their rent, their groceries, gas, and staying safe." Smith emphasized that many voters don't relate to elite political discourse. "We're not talking to the people anymore, we're preaching, and most Americans aren't buying it. Could he run?" When pressed about his presidential ambitions, Smith admitted he's not qualified, at least not in a traditional sense. "I'm not prepared, I'm not qualified, I have no political history whatsoever," he said. But he pointed out that political leaders and members of the public alike keep urging him to consider it. Even his pastor, A.R. Bernard, encouraged him to leave the door open for what might be a higher calling. Smith believes his ability to connect with people and his desire to bring moderation and sensibility to the political discourse could make him a compelling candidate in a polarized era. "Do I believe I could win? You're damn right, but only because of the current state of politics," he declared. "It wouldn't be because I'm the most qualified. It would be by default because of the dysfunction in Washington." He said many elected officials today don't actually do the work of legislating. All you have to do is disagree with the other side. That's not governance. A voice people trust. Despite his reservations, Smith understands the influence he holds. "When I speak, millions hear me," he said. I believe people trust that I'm trying to be balanced, trying to be fair. I'm not interested in division, I'm interested in galvanizing. For now, Stephen A. Smith hasn't declared any political ambitions, but in an era where non-traditional candidates are increasingly finding traction, his voice and his potential is being taken seriously. In the end, he said, I know I'm the kind of person who would be committed to doing what's in the best interest of this country. That means everybody, black, Hispanic, white, you name it, because chaos anywhere threatens us all. Whether that kind of vision translates into a presidential run remains to be seen, but one thing's certain, Stephen A. Smith is no longer just part of the sports conversation. He's now part of the political one too.